When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That just might work, ayy. When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That just might work, ayy. That just might work.
Welcome back to another episode of the Michel Matters Podcast. I'm Jocks Michel.
And I'm Jackie Michelle.
Welcome back.
Hey, guys.
Man, it's been a while since we've recorded like a real episode.
Yeah.
Low-key embarrassed at
No, are you really?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not.
You've enjoyed your time?
Yeah, man. I feel like I didn't want to feel like handcuffed by the podcast a little bit. I feel like,
yeah,
it's a hobby, it's something we do for fun, but at the same time, I do think, we should be a little more regular with our content.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get back on schedule.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, so
we're doing it.
That's what we're working on. And like, we're thinking about, okay, what's been going on? And it's like, I had to go all the way back to like 4th of July to come up with something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we talked. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I hope y'all had a good 4th of July. That was like a while ago. Sure. But we ended up doing a barbecue at the house.
Yes.
That was like the first time we hosted a barbecue where we were like the main cooks at the barbecue.
Yeah.
Usually people come here and they end up grilling. But this time we did it.
Or we each bring something. Yeah,
but like the main attraction was us this year. So that was pretty cool. And if I must say so, I think we did a pretty...
You did a great job.
I mean, I didn't want to go that far, but I'll take it.
You did great.
I think we did a pretty decent job.
Proud of you.
So that was cool. We had like just the immediate fam minus my brother. And we had like my godson and his mom and dad and little sister. So that was cool. Everybody like swam. We chilled out.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was real solid.
Yeah.
What else? What else did we do?
You did something big. I didn't do it.
You're right. It's just a conversation we still gotta have.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I think so.
All right.
But yeah, I'm vaccinated. Shout out to my 2 shop people out here, vaccinated. Yeah, man, it's just something I feel like kind of had to happen.
Okay.
It's getting crazy outside. I'm out and about.
I have not been following this new
Delta variant.
Yeah. I just been operating still at home. I don't know. Like, I go out, obviously. But I'm still, like, I don't be out here. So.
I mean, that's what you say. But I'm just saying. And,
like, until I see the numbers, go down a little more. But
I don't know. Be checking the numbers like that?
I really don't. That's the thing.
What I'm saying. So
but I'm still
that.
In the habit, like we've passed the 21-day habit regulated thing where it's like, okay, now this is just life.
I guess.
I'm just used to being home.
It's more than that, at least to me, right? So I think, especially with you hear a lot of people like say a lot of the same things. Like, I got to do my research or whatever about
Yeah.
How many of these people have ever done real research in their entire life? If you're not going to get it, just say you're not going to get it. But don't say you got to go do your own research.
Yeah.
Because if by your own research...
Are you saying that? I say that?
No. I said people. I 1,000% said people.
I'm like, I got to do no research.
Hit dogs all over. But yeah, I'm just saying. Like, it's, for me, it's more of just a protection. I mean, we've seen multiple people around us who have gotten it, young people. And been hospitalized for a period of time.
Very true.
And some like even really close to us. So it's like, wow, that could have been me. Like I was with these people. Or
I think you had a scare, and that's what did it to you. Like that's what did it for you. It was like, oh, now you telling me like I could really have it. Like you didn't have no symptoms, nothing. It was just somebody told you they had it, and blah, blah, blah. So then you were like, I'm getting tested next week. I'm getting vaccinated next week. I'm like, okay.
It's logical as far as like, I think to best protect ourselves.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. And I mean, the discussion can be had or whatever. But to me, that was what I thought I needed to do for not just for me, but for others. I think it's
I'm excited for
one of the things that we can do as Christians to love others. That's just us outside. But
okay. We gonna have to dig into the Bible for that.
We can on our monthly Bible study.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, that's what we did too.
We did do that. We started like a couples. Yeah. Not couples. It's us. It's just us. But
right. It's funny because the last wine night I had with friends, one of my friends was saying like married couples don't really be doing devotion together, right? And she had been married before, so I was like, yeah, not consistently, at least not in my marriage, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like we lay together every night and just open up a psalm or whatever. But now we're trying to like, okay, once a month, spend time in the Word together and like prepare for it, like
legit Bible study, not just like let's read a verse and
correct.
Pray real quick. So that was pretty cool. I led the first month.
That was that this month?
That was June.
Oh. We gotta put that in the calendar so I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the first one was in the calendar, but
you could have put the other ones in the calendar.
I can. That's fine. Okay. I can do it. But anyway. So we did that. And and then outside of that, we did end up doing double date with some of our friends, so that was cool. We ended up going to.
I'm trying to figure out which date you talking about.
We went to the Foxy Brown. Went to the Foxy Brown with Shalencia and Chooks.
Yes.
Okay.
Now
it's all coming back.
Yes.
All right.
It's all coming back to me now.
So yeah. So this was
that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
And we will actually. I'm going to edit a vlog where you'll see some footage of that.
Oh, you vlogged it?
On the low. It'll be a shorter vlog, but yeah.
I'm still not all in with the vlog thing, but
it's a spend the day with Jackie vlog or spend the weekend with Jackie vlog.
Yeah,
we're both in it, but it's mainly through my point of view.
And I guess Jackie wants me to do one. I spend a weekend.
You can do whatever you want to do.
Don't say that. But anyway, so yeah. Aside from that, I mean, I think that catches us up for the most part.
Yeah, we did get some comments on social media on Instagram. So you guys really liked Pillow Talk Volume 13, Together But Separate. We can get up here somewhere. And that is where we sat and talked about all the stuff that we like to do alone or want to do alone. Obviously separate from each other, but while we're still together.
Yeah.
And so y'all had a lot to say. So one person said, alone time, dance classes, yoga, biking, going to the beach alone. I love the drive in alone because I can talk to myself and not disturb anyone. I want to do some woodworking and art classes alone as well. Traveling alone is also great because you can just eat whatever you want and read a book in the airport. And when you get to the hotel, explore and stuff or watch what you want without disruption. Okay. I appreciate all the alone time a little more these days. She says, I think our struggle is more doing stuff together because they have a little one. And it's not really enjoyable to bring the little one out because there's too much logistics
It's a lot
involved.
going on.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of things. Great hobbies to do alone.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You guys can also leave comments on Instagram, on our YouTube. Instagram is at Michel Matters or through voicemail at 954-652-6519. Subscribe and rate us on Apple Podcasts and hit up Jocks on Twitter at
Coach_JOX. I'm never prepared for that. And it happens every episode.
And if you want to support the podcast, we have merch. You can go on our website. It'll link to the merch. You can click on the links for deals that we're sponsored with. You get your bamboo toilet paper. All that stuff is on the website. Let's move on.
All right.
All right, so for this episode, we're definitely talking about cancel culture. I don't feel like we talk about cancel culture on this podcast.
No, we haven't done it yet.
I don't think so. We talk about possibly getting canceled based off things that you say.
Me?
Sometimes.
I stand behind everything I say. So
okay, that's good. That's good. But there have been some current headlines, and I guess it's been for the last year and a half.
I'd say longer, but
yeah, you think so?
I think so.
Oh yeah, because I have some examples that are kind of dated. But I wanted to talk about it because it's in our everyday lives. People make mistakes. Do we cancel people based off of mistakes? How do we know when to cancel people? Should we cancel people? So anyway, what kind of set this episode off in my head is because I have a friend who is a librarian of all things. Okay. And she was talking about how they are, how Dr. Seuss books are getting pulled off the shelves. And 6 in particular are not getting published.
Okay.
Because of racist undertones. So in an article that I found here, some of the racist undertones could be, okay, so If I Ran the Zoo, right? That's one of his books. I want to say, on If I Ran the Zoo, it includes a drawing of 2 barefoot African men wearing what appear to be grass skirts with their hair tied above their heads.
Okay.
Okay. And then there's another book, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. I feel like I've heard of that book before.
Maybe.
I don't know if I read it, but
it's been forever.
An Asian person is portrayed wearing a conical hat.
Okay, like a dunce hat, I
guess. Holding chopsticks and eating from a bowl. Yeah, and then there's also excuse me, there's also all the places you'll go, green eggs and ham. I don't know. Certain things are still...
Green eggs and ham? What happened in green eggs and ham?
I don't know.
Okay, so this is... You don't even need to keep going. You don't need to keep going. Cancel culture in general is very... It's hit or miss because...
The Cat in the Hat received criticism too. I don't know why, but...
If you go into the nitty gritty of most things,
it's for me. You got upset about the green eggs. That was your book growing up.
It's not that it was my book, but at this point, it's okay. I guess everything is up for debate at this point. But then, when we get into the nitty gritty of things, right? You could cancel almost anything.
You're right.
If we were to talk about, are we gonna stop wearing Nikes? Because we know how Nikes are made. And when you start talking about where jewelry comes from, or it's there's all these things where your food comes from.
Yeah.
A lot of this you could cancel just about anything if you did enough research and you dug into anything enough. So it's I struggle with.
We cancel America every day, but we all still here, right?
I feel this cancel thing has gotten
out of hand.
To a point, yeah, it's getting out of hand.
When you're pulling Dr. Seuss off the shelves, it's too far. I guess, okay, so there were some educators that kind of came together and found, these are insensitive. Brought it to whoever needed to hear about it, and then they made that decision. But my thing is, these books, they exist.
Yeah.
Are we gonna pretend they don't exist? What do we... So, okay, you pull them off the shelves, and then what? Why can't we now... Instead of pulling them off, why can't we use them as examples?
Yeah.
Going forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel I don't want to get to the point where we start messing with things like free speech or...
Yeah.
Because, granted, if...
But what if it's hateful to somebody?
If the books are for sale, you don't have to buy it.
But you don't know. You thinking this is a kid's book.
When you get it, there are times where I thought a TV show was okay to watch in London, and we get a couple scenes in PG-13 for everybody, not the same for
that's true.
Somebody else. You know what I mean?
And she ain't 13, so what you watching it for?
Suitable for.
13
is the it's like a plus or minus to it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Plus or minus too.
Yeah, you know, plus or minus a few, whatever. It's what you're suitable for.
Okay.
But yeah, I think as a parent, I think even if you probably should like read through it before you have your kids read through it anyway.
You're right. But you thinking I'm gonna just buy it now, read it later, and then read it to them, or whatever. They read this at the school. I don't know, book fair. Like, yeah, what's the harm?
I'm not saying that it's wrong to call things out, because I think it's good to sometimes, like, there are a lot of things that I used to do that now that someone has brought it to my attention, I don't do anymore. There are certain words I used to say that I don't say anymore because now I'm more informed. So I think giving people the information, right, to decipher what's, you know, you should do, or what things are maybe insensitive or offensive is helpful, right? Like, we can spread the information, but I don't know if it's necessary to, like, pull all the books down that have Dr. Seuss, because what if in a few years something like, are we going to start pulling the Bible from places because the Bible says things that may be offensive to certain people? Like, I'm not trying to put the two on the same part, but it's just the
Bible is offensive to everybody.
But it's, to me, this is where it's like speech and press is like where you don't want to mess with it, because one day they may come for the things that are near and dear to you. Yeah. And I want those people to have the same right that I have. Correct. To write a story about what I want to write a story about.
How the Grinch stole Christmas.
Yeah, like, so that's my thing when it comes to like pulling stuff when it comes to free speech or hey man, if people want to buy it, I mean, they should let them buy it. But
I think you just take that and going forward educate to the kids or whoever you're reading to, or like, why is this wrong? This is why it's wrong. You know, like, it doesn't have to be, okay, let's pull it off the shelf. No, let's pick it up and let's talk about it. Like, why is this wrong? Yeah. So what about, I guess this kind of goes into our Michel Matter too. Okay. Just kind of blend the two.
All right, so we sliding into the Michel Matter.
Yeah, why not? Okay. Just because I know, like, Bill Cosby is not in jail anymore. Huh? Right? And there are noteworthy people who have done things, and we still praise them for things that they've done. Yeah. And not the wrong that they've done. So, like, MLK, right? Gandhi. People still do Bikram yoga, and I watched a whole documentary about how he was trash. Very trash. So, like, what do we do in that case? Like, do we say, okay, he served his time? Whatever that time is. To some people, it's not enough. To others, it's whatever. And then move on? Or what?
I always find it funny when people are mad at people for forgiving someone. Because those are personal journeys, right? So, like, if someone is able to forgive someone for a wrong they may have done, I don't think that any of us want to be, like, held captive to, like, a bad moment that we may have had or forever. Yeah. But I also feel like, as person to person, if I don't want to support someone for something, any reason in particular that, you know, I don't rock with them like that. I don't want to support that. Right. That's on me. I mean, you can do it. I don't have to like, but this like community culture of like, nah, we don't rock with so and so. And if you do, you don't rock with us. Like, that's where I kind of like, But, like, if somebody asks me, like, yo, you play R. Kelly? I'll be like, nah, I don't play R. Kelly. You can play R. Kelly in your spare time. I may internally judge you a little bit, but I don't play it, right?
But why is that? Because you don't feel like he's asked for forgiveness? Or, like, what? Like, he hasn't owned up to it?
I think when, like, for me, knowing some of the content that he produced, like, they may come from some interesting places. And that may be for a lot of other people. But we don't know everybody's struggles like that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we know his particular struggle. And when you start talking about things like, you know, AJ number to number and, you know, bumping ground, like, it's like, what was the muse for that song?
So you want to believe that MLK, like, repented before he wrote the letter?
Before he wrote what, though?
Anything, any sermon, any letter.
So when you start talking about, like...
But I'm just trying to, like, see what's the difference between the two.
A song about underage sex and someone talking about ending racism don't correlate. Like, MLK's speeches, he wasn't saying, like, you know, if he was in his speeches talking about don't cheat on your wife, it wouldn't hit the same. Because it's like, you're...
But you don't think he ever preached saying that?
I don't know. Maybe.
Be honest.
Maybe. But, I mean, I would hope he's repented of it.
Right.
And I hope he was forthright. If I don't think he was, but if he ever preached against it, I would hope he would talk about...
been in his home.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about... But you can't be in front of the congregation talking like that, but you at the home, you know, living like a wild child. I'm just saying, they're not the same. Those two things aren't the same.
Yeah.
But when we start talking about things that, like, make people immoral, because we're all immoral, right? But just all of our stuff not on Front Street like that. But we see it all the time. Chris Brown, to me, is another prime example of someone who I understand if you say you don't listen to Chris Brown. I 1000% get it.
Yeah.
And if you say it's been whatever X amount of years and if you feel like he's changed, I don't know how you know, but if you feel like he's changed, then I could see why you may listen to him. Like, I don't know if I won't argue with nobody about whether or not they've forgiven someone.
Correct.
Who didn't even harm them.
Correct.
But, yeah.
Right. I guess just as a society. I mean, I don't even know how that works. Like,
because the thing about canceling is, like, it's an imaginary, like, punishment.
Right. It's like, okay. Meanwhile, Bill Cosby's at his house.
Yeah. But, like...
That's nice that you cancel me.
If you are able... Like, if you, like, anger people so much that they want to join up and go against you, that's on you. Like...
Yeah.
So, like, Trick Daddy the other day, he said that Beyonce can't sing. All these people in the Beehive went and they left bad reviews on his restaurant and all this stuff. I'm not mad at it. This is what happens when you have, like, these free societies. And
the thing is, but he could have that opinion if he wants to.
That's the point, though, right?
Yeah.
It's free speech. You can say it, but you're going to have to deal with these consequences.
Yeah.
You have brought this upon yourself. That is the price of free speech.
Right.
Sometimes people not going to like it. And then they react. As long as they're not putting hands on you, you're not going to jail for it.
Yeah.
But if they want to leave you bad reviews...
I think we're in this... Currently, society is kind of like, we're not taking bullies. We're not taking...
Yeah.
Which I'm down for.
Yeah.
But it's really important to know who the bullies are.
Mm-hmm.
And when the bullies, repent or change for real. Because in that case, Trick Daddy was not a bully. Like, no, if you really hear everything that he was saying, it was like, okay,
that's not a bully.
Beyonce not singing like Whitney sang. Beyonce not singing like Aretha sang. Like, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, he's not Chrissy Teigen.
And he already told y'all, like, Beyonce is a performer. She's still good at this. She's still good. So he wasn't even beating on Beyonce. It was just like...
But you don't have to be a bully to get canceled.
But when we talk about, like, how Wendy was talking about Tabitha Brown...
That's not bullying.
What she said, she was like, their marriage is going to end. Like...
That's not bullying. Bullying is Chrissy Teigen. That's bullying.
I don't know everything that she said.
Chrissy Teigen out here telling people to go kill themselves. That's bullying.
Right.
Like, that's like cyberbullying at its peak.
Right. But even with the Wendy Williams example, Tabitha didn't even cancel Wendy. She was just like, I just hope you just take your anger somewhere else. Like, go get help.
But if people want to cancel Wendy, I mean, that's what happens when you talk for a living and you say something people don't like.
Yeah.
They may react.
Yeah.
It happens. You see it all the time. people have the right to respond how they want to respond. And I like that. I like that that's what free speech is. You can say whatever you want. Is it free from consequence? No.
Yeah.
But I prefer that than like you go to jail for saying stuff that people don't agree with, or may you lose your job? Yeah, possibly. But that's the confines that we live in, where you have a world where you can have free speech. You can protest if you want. You can say people, marriage is gonna end, it's gonna be trash, or have at it.
Yeah.
But
well, it's kind of like even like Felicia Rashad, I guess, was kind of defending
Mr. Cosby.
Yeah, Heathcliff Huxtable and
Bill Cosby,
and she works somehow for Howard.
Yeah, she's like a dean or something.
Right, and so people are petitioning like she gotta go. Like I'm sure, like students, and then I'm sure like there's people in the staff that don't agree with her.
Yeah,
and some that do, but it's like, does she get fired because of her opinion on that? Like, it's not like we have in the student handbook or in our core values of Howard, like, you can't stand up for this. So now she can't get a check because, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, what? So the thing is,
I get it though, when you really think about like, oh, like, say you're a parent and you don't agree with her views. And you have a daughter at Howard. You're just like, well, how is the dean of students gonna care about my daughter's well-being on campus, and she's supporting, this guy?
Yeah.
With these hundreds of allegations.
And the thing is, like, a lot of times, most people don't understand, like, I'm pretty sure she don't have nothing to do with that, right, when it comes to the school. Because she's not the dean of students. She was like the dean of a college as far as like the performing arts section or whatever. I'm pretty sure she don't handle that stuff. I don't know either.
But the people that he allegedly messed with were in performing arts. So it's like
no.
These are the people that are now going to go out into that same industry where you have knowledge of what could have possibly been going on. And this is what you're saying.
No, what I was trying to get at was, I think, like, people sometimes get mad about stuff. They just get mad to get mad. I'm not saying that what she did was right or anything like that. I don't believe that. But I think more than anything, a lot of these,
she should get fired.
That's what I'm saying. But a lot of these institutions or businesses, whatever, they're here to protect the bottom line. And if they feel like you affect because I don't think she got fired. I think they just told her she ended up having to go to like sensitivity training or something like that. Okay. Because she doesn't affect the bottom dollar enough to be like, we have to fire her. Yeah. So we just got to do some PR work, make it seem like, yo, Felicia, we gave you a little tap on the hand. Yeah. And, you righted your wrongs. Right. But
what y'all not going to do is not go to Howard.
Yeah. So, but
it's still going to apply.
But there are times though where it's like, oh no, this person is going to cost us money. Yeah. Because people may try to cancel us with you. Correct. And it's going to affect our dollars. And that's what, to me, is like, the thing about cancel culture is when people do it out of like fear or whatever. I'm like, I mean, nobody wants to be associated to a bad apple like that. Right. So they would have fired her if they felt like she was causing that much trouble. But that's why, to me, it's like, it's a fake cancellation. Like, she went to sensitivity training, and in cancel culture, to me at least, if I were to do something wrong, right, and people were to like quote unquote cancel me, I wouldn't say anything. I'd just be quiet and let it die down. And I just come back in like 2-3 weeks because y'all gonna cancel somebody else. Y'all gonna be worried about something else. Correct. These things aren't permanent unless you're like really bad.
Which is what she did.
Yeah, or just come out, apologize, and stay low. Yeah. Just stay low. Because I don't know if you saw the Chrissy Teigen thing. I know I keep saying Chrissy Teigen.
I don't know how that
to me,
out. I know she was in the press for a long time. But I don't know, like, what was the resolve? She
lost, like, 2... First of all, I don't know what Chrissy Teigen does. So, when they were like, she lost...
sponsor stuff.
Yeah, she lost, like, some deals or whatever. I was just like, okay. I don't know what her profession is.
Yeah.
I just know she's married to John Legend.
She used to model.
If you say so.
She did.
But, like, she was canceled as far as she lost her sponsorship that I didn't even know she had.
Because it doesn't affect you. It affects her pockets.
Yeah. Which she may deserve, right? Because she was talking reckless on the internet.
In the year of what?
Does it matter?
I'm just saying. I'm losing sponsorships in 2021 because of what I said in 2003. Like,
so you're mad?
Whatever.
You're mad they didn't catch you at the time? You think it's a statute of limitations on being a bully?
No, but I'm just saying.
Y'all
could have been canceled her and her whole career.
Because the thing was,
10 years ago.
If she had but the thing, it don't matter. Like, back then, now.
I get you.
She was telling people to actively kill themselves.
Because regardless, she could lose those sponsorships. She's good. She's Chrissy Teigen.
Like, and the thing about it,
John Legend's voice is on every commercial right now.
No, they good, but it just shows you that, you know, they coming for people. If she was just like telling people, because she was saying how a lot of them was like jokes or whatever, or
to kill themselves.
Look, and she was saying like she ain't mean it like that. But the thing is, she did it in, like, DMs, right? Like, I understand if you're trying to be funny on the timeline. Because people say stuff. There was a point...
Yeah, but it's people you know or no? Like, or don't know.
There was a point of time, I'm not saying I condone it, where people used to tell people, hey, man, kill yourself. As, like, a jokey statement.
Oh, really? So you understand what she's saying?
No. Because she meant it. And
she said she meant it?
When you read the comments, it's not like in a stream of like jokes. It's like somebody said some shit on like, and she's like, hey, yo, kill yourself. She said off yourself, which is not even kill yourself, right? And I was just like, yo, she is bugging.
Yeah.
And the thing is, for me, I always feel like, I mean, I guess we could say we don't like her, but I don't see her work. So there's nothing you could do to cancel her, but clearly she has sponsorships. They dropped her.
I just know she has a cookbook. I know that.
You think she'd be cooking?
I doubt it. She probably has a chef. But I'm just saying, like, you think Aisha should be cooking?
And like, she considered it trolling, which I think is very like 2020 or whatever. It's bullying. Like that's not
trolling.
Yeah, that's not trolling. But she tried to apologize.
She did apologize.
Okay.
Right?
She said, I'm going to tell you. She said, there's simply no excuse for my past horrible tweets. I was a troll. Full stop. And I am so sorry. I guess if you were going to substitute troll for bully, fine. And she
aren't
said,
they the same? Kind of.
Trolling to me doesn't hit as hard because it's very like kiddish to say, oh, I trolled you.
Because that's literally her social media presence is just, she's a troll. She is a troll.
Yeah.
But it's, usually it's funny. I've never seen her, tweet somebody to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she's very sarcastic.
I'm trying to find it. She was just saying now, she's like struggling with depression and loneliness.
I'm sure.
And that she wanted to know if there was like a support group for other canceled people.
See, she's probably being sarcastic saying that.
But so that's not an apology. So it's not an apology.
It's because if you listen to like Chrissy Teigen's interviews for certain things, or
why would
like
I do that? Sorry,
I'm just saying, or like her tweets when I was on Twitter back in the day, like that's literally her. That's her zhuzh. Like
her zhuzh?
Yes, she's always sarcastic and like witty, but in a weird way.
Witty. I don't know, boss.
I don't know if that's the right word.
I'm trying to find the last comment because I want to get it right. She's wild.
Like, is there a cancel group, support group?
Yeah. But she was saying, like,
that's
she called it she said, cancel club is a fascinating thing, and I've learned a whole lot. Only a few understand it, and it's impossible to know till you're in it. And it's hard to talk about it because obviously you sound whiny when clearly you do something wrong. It just sucks. There is no winning, but there never is anyhow. Oh, I'm trying to find the end of it.
I didn't know about the cancel club. Cancel support group.
Nah, she thinks she's funny.
That's what I'm saying. But that wasn't a part of her apology, was it?
Yeah, that was all. It was on one.
Nah,
it was on one post,
like thread.
Yeah, man, I gotta find it. But you can keep going. You can keep talking. We'll tweet.
I mean, I don't have nothing else to say about Chrissy because that's just her. I also, if you put it into context, right? I'm gonna put it into context just like how we were putting. Was it Off-White? Was it Virgil?
Yeah.
You know, when they were like, oh, he doesn't employ any black people.
Yeah.
Okay, Virgil. Look at where he is. Like, let's put this into context again, right? She was a model, probably at that time. Okay. Probably like, I mean, and even the culture of modeling, I don't know what it is now, but back then was very catty. Very like, oh, somebody's going to take my spot. So I'm going to, you know, kill her career or whatever, right? And so I don't know who she was talking to. I don't know if it was a hairdresser, whatever, stylist to off themselves.
Amen.
But at that time, she may have been that catty, model, pretty privileged person, right? Before meeting John Legend, and now we're seeing like, oh, well, she's this sweet person, and all of you loves all of me, and whatever, right? It's just portrayed now as like a wife, a mom, I have a cookbook, I have this, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just different times, and it could be genuine. She could genuinely be those things. Like, she could be just like a funny mom.
Yeah, she definitely tried to be funny. That's how I found it. I found the end of it. She says, if you or anyone you know has also been canceled, please let me know if there's a cancel club reunion because I could use some time off from my couch. And I don't know. It just...
She didn't have to end it like that.
Hey, man.
She could have just stopped at, sorry. I'm so sorry. And that's it. I feel like that's just what people, like, people don't know that by now.
But one thing, right? I do agree with, at what point should people leave her alone? Right.
I mean, they're going to leave her alone next week. I don't know how long ago this was, but they're going to leave her alone.
She said this like last week.
Oh. Yeah, next week.
Is there...
They'll move on to someone else.
Should we like... Because the thing is, I just don't know, because it's so random, right? It's so like arbitrary as far as how long you don't like someone. Me personally, I feel like she just go back to living her regular life. Because if she's worried about like negative comments, or it's going to happen for the foreseeable future, I think. But I think if you just keep going long enough, they're going to forget. But when you come out and like, they don't ever forget, but
they're not going to like be in
I don't think they're going to be doing on all your posts in a month from now.
Correct.
Right? Like you'll be able to go back to slowly doing everything that you want to do before. Yeah. Because this is not real. It's not a real punishment. It's just the thing of the moment. Yeah. It's what we want to do
it's
today.
Like but that's another thing too. Like, you feel lonely. How do you feel lonely? It's the same people in your life, probably.
Look, man.
It's the same people in your house, probably. You only feel lonely on the internet. So just don't go on the internet.
But she said she feels bad going outside right now. That's what she said. I didn't say it. She said that.
Okay. Well, I guess canceling does put somebody in like a mental prison in a way. So I get that. Personally, I am not one of those people who go into people's comments to let them know that they've been canceled in my mind or whatever. I don't even know if I cancel people in my mind.
But I think
I might have canceled Chris Brown at some point.
The irony with Chrissy Teigen is she was one of those people. Like, She's one of those people who cancel people.
Yes.
And she's one of those people who would comment things under people's page.
100%.
So it's, it's the give and take of this.
Yeah.
You're just the cancelee today. You're getting canceled.
I think I just don't care anymore.
Like, do I feel bad for her? I guess as a person, I would hope she feels better. But is it like one of those like, hey guys, leave her alone? I don't know.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to eat these. Like that's yours. That's yours to take.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay. Let us know if you've canceled somebody. If you're one of those people who like put the bees emoji
and people
under Trick Daddy's comments or the avocados.
What was the avocados? Oh, that was the top of the brow.
Yeah. And you're one of those people in the comments. Or if you just don't care. Or if you've been canceled.
Yeah. Let
us know if there's a cancel support group that Chrissy Teigen can join. All right, let's move on.
All right. All right, so for this episode's business spotlight, we wanted to highlight a restaurant that we went to recently. I've been holding on to this spot for a little minute. It was in Overtown, and it's called Rosie's Café.
So good.
Yeah, it's like a pop-up restaurant that only goes, I believe, from like Thursday to Monday.
Yeah.
And to me, at least, it was good. Like, I've seen it in pictures. I've seen people do reviews of it. And I was like, no, we got to try it. So we ended up going. And, I mean, what do you think? Because I was excited, and it lived up to it, but how was it for you?
Okay, so I was not excited.
Okay.
I just didn't, because you had been talking about it at least consistently for 2 weeks before we got there. And I was like, I don't know what place you're talking about. Like, you never mentioned this or whatever, right? So, once we got to the location, though, I was like, I know what this is. Like, I didn't know Rosie's. But I knew, did we say the name already?
No.
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah, I did say Rosie's.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know Rosie's, but I knew the building that is basically attached to. I had heard of it. It's the Copper Door.
Correct. B&B.
B&B. So it's a black-owned Airbnb or hotel or whatever.
It's a bread and breakfast.
Bed and breakfast. Yeah. Okay. Because they like feed you or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So I heard about that. I just didn't know they had a restaurant.
Yep.
It's good. And the thing is, it's simple.
Very, yeah.
Very simple, but I like simple.
Mm-hmm.
I like when the menu is not 500 pages long, like Cheesecake Factory. And it's good stuff on the menu.
Yeah.
I like getting a regular, well, it's not regular, but like a beverage that could be just a twist on a lemonade. And it's just like, ooh, I never thought to put this together. And like just the creativity behind the menu. I really appreciated that. And it was light, but it was filling. And it was a vibe. Like the weather was right. The people there were right.
It was.
We went after church. It was just right.
And the thing about it is like, so like I knew about the restaurant. Jackie knew about the bread and breakfast.
Bed and breakfast.
Bed and breakfast. What did I do? Bed and breakfast. And to me, like once we got there, I kind of learned about the story of the place. Like I started looking it up, and it's a really cool story about how I got started.
Yeah.
And also, and Jackie pointed this out because I didn't know. We saw one of the owners, and she wasn't like acting like
both of the owners.
We did, but we interacted with one of them. Yeah. One of them was kind of off, like in the back working.
Yeah.
But they were very involved. I like that.
Yeah.
Because they also own the bed and breakfast.
The bread.
They own the bed and breakfast as well as they started the pop up.
Say bread and breakfast.
Nope.
Say bed and breakfast.
So I want to shout them out as well. You gonna stop? Akina West and Jamila Ross. And they were great, or at least she was, because we interacted with her.
Yeah, he was focused. Like
they were working.
But it seemed like they had regulars.
Maybe. She was talking to one.
Yeah, she was talking to someone.
I'm thinking that lady may have also been staying at the bed and breakfast. That's what I thought of. Because to talk that much, I'm assuming that lady had been there for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had heard about it because Latricia, who we've shouted out, LR Beauty Co. in episode whatever, who's done my hair before, she was like, oh, I did a shoot here. You do lingerie, maybe you should book a room and, like, do, like, some shoots or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'll look into it. But I never did anything with that information. But now that we've gone, I'm like, well, we could even do, like, a staycation or something. Like,
yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Okay.
I would. I mean, I'm down to do it.
Because if that's what Rosie's taste like, I'm sure the food, if you stay, tastes good.
True. So, yeah. I highly recommend it. But yeah.
So what did you order?
I ordered the...
You don't remember. I ordered the chicken sandwich.
What did I order?
Right?
You ordered the chicken sandwich, yeah.
Yes. And I had a chocolate croissant with guava on the croissant. Mm-hmm. That was really good. And I had some type of juice. I don't remember what was in it, but she said it was a new flavor. And I was like, this needs to be a popsicle.
Oh, I know what I ordered. I ordered the chicken and waffles.
Oh, of course.
Yes. What do you mean, of course?
Because that's
what do you mean by
so
that?
Brunchy.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? That's so brunchy. Like,
yeah. And then you had this fire drink.
That's what I was just saying. She said it was a new flavor. And I was like, this could be like a really cool popsicle. Like, especially during this time.
Yeah.
She was like, that would be cool. So, maybe you might see a popsicle.
No, but it was dope. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's in Overtown. It's like, I want to say it's on 4th Street and like 4th Avenue. So it's like on 4th and 4th.
And it's very small. How many tables? Like 10 maybe?
But it's like, everybody ain't find out about it yet. So the wait wasn't that long. We waited like 10 minutes. We were, I know. We were like second in line on the list, and we ended up getting there.
It wasn't bad. We
10 minutes.
Chilled inside and...
Correct.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out. We'll put all their information below. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it. Another successful episode.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
All right, man. See you.
Bye.
Peace.
When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That you might work, ayy.